Hey guys, welcome to The Market is Open. In this video, we'll be talking about 5 pieces of Tesla news that just occurred within the last few days. We're going to start with Elon Musk being on Saturday Night Live, and he's got the Cybertruck with him in New York. Then some news on Tesla celebrating with 25,000 supercharging stalls worldwide. And I wanted to look at price increases on Model 3 and Model Y, and news that Model S and X might be delayed until August, which I think might be slightly misinterpreted. And finally, I want to look at news that Tesla told the California DMV that it can't promise driverless cars by the end of this year, but I wanted to go into more detail on Tesla's plans for full self-driving and getting to level 5 autonomy. So let's dive in. But before we begin, please like this video at any time if you enjoyed the news analysis and research, and subscribe to follow us for more Tesla content. We'd super appreciate that. Also, stop using Yahoo Finance, stop using Google Finance, and check out our website, themarketisopen.com, where we have instant stock quotes and financial data for every stock going back 10 years, and it's all freely available. Let's begin with the news that Elon Musk will be on Saturday Night Live tonight. Now, although the media seems to paint this as a negative, I don't see anything wrong with this. It could be a huge benefit for Elon's companies, and he has been in other movies and TV shows before, such as Iron Man and The Big Bang Theory. Now, we ran a quick poll, and it seems that our viewers will be tuning in, at least watching the highlights afterwards of Elon on SNL. Now, it's a small sample size, but I think this has created more buzz than usual for SNL, which typically gets millions of viewers. And this is a way for Elon Musk to reach people on broadcast and cable, which probably haven't heard of Tesla or SpaceX yet, because they also haven't heard of the internet. I think this was summed up nicely by a tweet from Whole Mars Catalog, which states that Ford is planning to spend $3 billion this year on advertising. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is bringing with him to his New York filming of SNL the Cybertruck and driving it around the city, which given New York's dense population is sure to be seen by many and will likely stand out among the yellow taxis. But really, this is pretty much free advertising for Tesla. I think Elon Musk and Tesla are experts at leveraging social media platforms with the help of their cool products to get the word out without having to spend $3 billion. That savings gets reinvested into engineering and innovation for the company. The next bit of news is that Tesla surpassed 25,000 supercharger stalls globally. This is an incredible feat for the company, and superchargers are of course enabling the electrification of vehicles worldwide. Elon Musk has noted in the past that when buyers are looking to purchase a new electric vehicle, 2 of the most important factors they consider are the proximity to supercharger stations and to service stations. So as Tesla populates the world with superchargers, this does in fact contribute to selling more Teslas. Now, this is something that Tesla retweeted by Tesla Charging, which keeps track of supercharger announcements. It's not 100% clear if the timing of the tweet coincides exactly with when Tesla hit exactly 25,000 superchargers, but it seems like this lines up perfectly with Tesla's rate of supercharger deployments. At the end of the first quarter, which ended about a month and a week ago, Tesla reported that there were 24,515 supercharger stalls globally. It looks like Tesla adds a bit over 1,000 charging stalls every quarter, with the exception of the holiday quarter where we saw a huge increase. I also think that because the new superchargers use Tesla's V3 charging technology, which allows for 250 kilowatts of power, they're much faster than Tesla's old chargers and therefore have higher throughput, so Tesla doesn't need as many. That said, Tesla has drastically increased Model 3 and Model Y output in the past year, so there are a large number of Teslas on the road that require charging. Of course, there are significantly more gas stations than chargers worldwide, but since most charging is done at home, Tesla won't need as many chargers. Nonetheless, this is a huge milestone for Tesla for just a single company that's vertically integrated to have this many charging stalls, and Tesla is able to control the end-to-end experience, which will serve as a huge moat for the company going forward, especially when compared to the charging experiences of other vehicles. Have a look at our Tesla Battles Ford video, where we highlight the difference in charging experiences versus other EV makers. Now, earlier this week, Tesla inched up their pricing for their high-volume vehicles. We saw another $500 increase on the Model 3, which brings the base price to $39,490 before any savings, and the Model Y long range at $51,490. I believe that just in the last few months, this is the 3rd time Tesla has added $500 to the price of its mass-market vehicle lineup. And I think there could be a few things driving these price increases. I think that some are speculating that Tesla is factoring in price increases ahead of additional tax credits that may be applied to these vehicles. It's possible, but I don't think that's the real reason behind these increases. One of the main things affecting any producers of goods worldwide is the increase in raw costs for materials. I think that a lot of factories were shut down during the pandemic, people were at home, we also saw outages in Texas, for example, and as a result, the prices of raw material inputs have increased for everyone. Now, whether or not this is temporary is yet to be seen, but for the time being, it's possible that Tesla is adjusting their prices, taking this into consideration. However, I think that Tesla is quite fortunate that although raw materials may be going up in price, Tesla is able to pass on those increases to consumers and maybe even more to keep their margins intact. Tesla is seeing record demand for its vehicles. On the last conference call, Elon Musk stated, "We've seen a real shift in customer perception of electric vehicles, and our demand is the best we've ever seen. We're used to seeing a reduction in demand in the first quarter, and we saw an increase in demand that exceeded the normal seasonal reduction in demand in Q1. So this is really great for Tesla, and I think it will continue, and more people will come back online as they get vaccinated, and the previous driving habits will start to return. I think that as people look to their next vehicles to purchase and keep for the next 10 years, they're starting to think if it's worth it to buy another gas-powered vehicle or an electric one. There's definitely huge demand for gas-powered vehicles as well right now, but we're seeing record demand for EVs, and more people make the switch." Now, with regards to Tesla's higher-end vehicles, the Model S and X, there's a report here from Inside EVs that new Tesla Model S and X estimated delivery times are moved further away. Now, hopefully people aren't misinterpreting this to think that Tesla is delaying the launch of these vehicles. That's not what the title is saying. The Model S and X will be using Tesla's Plaid powertrain. The higher-end versions will have 3 motors, and Tesla will likely be putting in the 4680 batteries into these vehicles. So there's a whole bunch of new technology going into these premium cars, and because of that, we've seen some bumps along the way. Tesla has already delayed the launch of the Model S and X Plaid, and they've revamped the entire factory to make it more efficient. It will cost less to produce these cars, and Tesla is selling them at a higher price. But of course, they're better cars than their previous versions and anything else you'll find. Now, while Tesla produced 0 Model S and X in the past quarter, it did seem like there were some unfinished Model S and X products that were waiting to be completed, according to Elon's comments in the most recent conference call. Perhaps the global semiconductor shortage is affecting those vehicles, and Tesla shifted resources to the Model 3 and Y in the meantime. But right now, it looks like Tesla's production constrained on the Model S and X. On the conference call, Elon Musk stated that the Model S will begin deliveries in May 2021, which is about now, and Model X deliveries in the third quarter of the year. Tesla also highlighted supply chain issues going to continue throughout the year. Now, this article from Inside EVs says that Tesla is pushing out estimated delivery dates by about a month or 2 for each of Tesla's Model S and X vehicle models. But keep in mind that this is for new orders. I think it will take Tesla some time to ramp up production back to their highs of 100,000 per year for S and X. And as they're in the early stages of ramping up new technology, there's only going to be a limited supply at first. So we're seeing demand outstripping supply, which is a high quality problem. Obviously, people want Tesla's new supercar lineup, and it will be all up to Tesla to produce as many as possible as quickly as they can to satisfy the incredible demand. I also think that if Tesla is able to execute on delivering these vehicles and ramping S and X back up, we're going to see huge profitability in the second half of the year as these vehicles contribute heavily to margins and to profits. The final item on today's agenda is to address this news that Tesla tells the California DMV that it can't promise driverless cars this year. First off, it's important to look at the media's track record related to Tesla's autopilot. They hate it. So although I would always dig a little deeper before believing the headline, I'm personally not expecting Tesla to have full self-driving working perfectly by the end of this year either. Now, Elon has said in Tesla's recent conference call that he is highly confident the car will be able to drive itself with reliability in excess of a human this year. But also at the Axel Springer Awards last year in December, Elon Musk also said that he was confident that Tesla would achieve full autonomy and release it next year, which is this year. Now, it's only May, so there is still time, but I'm not expecting driverless cars just yet, and I don't think that this article of a Tesla engineer telling the DMV that they might not be able to do it changes anything at all. I think this memo from the DMV is just stating that Tesla and other automakers need to make sure communication is clear when they release software to their customers, such as FSD beta that Tesla is rolling out. Now, currently, just a small subset of drivers have been able to get the FSD beta onto their vehicles. Everyone is still using the older version of Autopilot's FSD. And I think this memo from the DMV, which states that Tesla is firmly in level 2 in terms of self-driving vehicles, is true because the old version is more of a level 2 system, and that's the one that everyone has. I think that the levels don't make much sense, and I'll explain why I think that and where I think Tesla is and could be in the future. First of all, companies working on autonomous driving need to be able to monetize their work along the way, otherwise their business isn't sustainable. Currently, everyone is trying to offer driver assistance features, which is level 1, such as cruise control, for example. Level 2 features are starting to emerge. I'm not talking about Tesla here, which already has their business model figured out, just other automakers in general. But over the last few years, we've seen ADAS features, or advanced driver assistance system features, that can control steering or acceleration. Of course, the driver still needs to monitor it. Now, it would suck if another company pulled ahead and started offering level 3 and 4 features that many companies can't compete with. So everyone is a lot happier if the competition stays at level 2. You don't want to get too far ahead here. The problem with these levels, especially in this purple section here, is that this has nothing to do with full self-driving and isn't even designed to do full self-driving either. The companies writing this software will have to throw it all away and completely rewrite it if they want to work on full self-driving. They'll need to focus on machine learning instead of traditional programming methodologies for the core functionality of perceiving the world that we live in. And so that's why Tesla has had to rewrite their system multiple times, because they had started off with the wrong base or the wrong infrastructure, and now it seems like they have a solid foundation to actually solve full self-driving and get into this blue section here on the right side. For a true driverless vehicle, you either have it or you don't. The car can't make any mistakes because by definition there should be zero human intervention in level 5. In order to get there, Tesla is trying to collect as many edge cases and interventions as possible and teach the computer how to handle all of these obscure situations. Because they have vast amounts of data flowing in, unlike any other company, Tesla is getting tons of real-life examples and training their computer to handle them. Now, Elon Musk is seeing the progress here. The FSD beta that was just released to a small subset of users is actually quite good and completely different from the version that most consumers have on their vehicles. But Elon isn't exactly looking at where it is now. He's noticing the rate at which Tesla can improve and making an estimate for when it can be released based on that. As he said before, it's a matter of getting 99.99999% the way there. And he's looking at the rate at which Tesla is adding 9s past the decimal place, which means higher and higher reliability. So I think that Tesla is probably at level 3 right now by definition with their FSD beta. The car can do most driving tasks, I guess it depends what they mean by task, but human override is still required. Once Tesla is feature complete, they'll be firmly in level 4, but maybe even more like level 4 plus, because it shows that geofencing is required, whereas Tesla's system doesn't exactly work with geofences, it mainly works based on the task. For example, right now I don't think the system is enabled for an underground parking garage. Once all these features are ready, the Tesla can drive anywhere, and the driver just needs to monitor it for any mistakes or interventions, but that's not a geofencing thing. So I think that by the end of the year, if Tesla gets all of the features in, they can be in this level 4 plus state, and then it's a matter of reducing driver intervention to 0. But because Elon Musk has only released a sneak peek in the form of a beta, and he's planning to release a version 9 which is even better, we really haven't seen yet what's in the works. To me it feels like the rate of improvement is actually quite high, and because the software keeps getting better so quickly, but also changing very rapidly, it seems that it makes more sense to wait for it to be more stable than to release something that's different every day, which could confuse the drivers monitoring the system behavior. So I think that for now, it makes sense to keep the expectations low and to tell everyone that Tesla is in level 2 and people should be careful and not put too much trust into the autonomous driving system. But I think by the end of the year, we will see a major leap forward in the software that Tesla has on its vehicles. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments section below. Please hit the like button and subscribe for more Tesla news, content, and research. And a huge shout out to all of our patrons that help to support our channel. Your support helps us to continue to make great content. Thank you guys so much for watching.